Get ready, Heresy friends, for another 30k theoretical episode. This is all about the sweet, sweet command squads.
Welcome to Trident Wargaming, a podcast dedicated to all aspects of tabletop wargaming. Your hosts are Bill and Andy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Trident Wargaming. This is episode 41, and you are listening to the 30k theoretical part 3. Last time when we were talking about the 30k theoretical, we were going deep into librarians, forge lords, the regular generic whirlwind tank, and then destroyer squads. So if you didn't catch that one, at the end of this video there'll be a link you can click and jump in, or you can find it on our playlist if you want to get caught up. We got a part 1 there as well. But yeah, jumping in for this particular episode, I'm joined with my co-host Andy.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
You guys know me, Bill. Basically jumping in, we just talk about some current hobby stuff. What do you got on the hobby table?
Ooh, well, this past weekend was actually a pretty good push on the hobby network for me. So the current project, the White Scars, the ever-ending project, I ended up getting the Ebon Conchig built up, cleaned up, and ready for priming and painting. It's a nice change because all that white, I'm now going to start painting some black. So that'll be fun. They're a pretty cool model. Really nice weaponry on them and stuff. I've already got like plans for conversions in my head. So 30k otherwise than that, like just more jet bikes, more bikes, some infantry that I got to do some AK wash on. And then some of the other games like BattleTech and whatnot, some bolt action. Got some of that on the go as well. So, but yeah, a lot of built and prepping and just getting a little bit of paint on here and there. And yeah, that's
nice.
kind of it for me. How about you, Bill?
Also, a big push for me on the hobby front. Painting my bolt action, my American Force Bonkos Bastards. They're almost done. I'm just applying like last little bits of wash and touching up any like little spots on the jackets and stuff like that. Obviously check the Instagram out for pictures. You can check all the work in progress pictures and the finished results as well. But yeah, looking really forward to getting this army done. If you've been with us for a little while, basically started these guys in January, and I'm at the point where they're built, going to be #fully painted, so that's a pretty big achievement for me. I'm excited to get them going.
Yeah, he's going to have the army painted before I got my painted for bolt action.
Yeah. And then some of the other pictures you guys might have seen are my word bearer Galvorback and the Mara Gaul Contemptor Dread, which are painted and ready to start getting details added on. I'm starting to cut in the blacks and silvers and stuff, and I've done some airbrushing work on them to try and pop them up a bit, and I'll have videos on how I just quickly pre-shade and spray the contrast paint to get that word bearer's color I've been talking about for a while. So
nice.
That part's been pretty good. And then kicking off with, November. Basically, yeah, it's going to be word bearers and BattleTech, trying to just crank out all that stuff.
Yeah, the next couple of months is again, like I was saying, really push on the White Scars.
Mm-hmm.
Considering Con was just released.
Oh yeah,
the viewing for Con. How can I not continue and complete his force? His sons. Right.
It was well worth the wait. I was happy they dropped the Con. I know there were some people out there who were a little disappointed there wasn't a box set reveal or anything extra, but for how nice that model looks and having the Primarch range complete, it's it was well worth it. So
and like I was vibrating when they dropped him, right? I was just like I pushed Gulliman away and I was like, yeah, you're not my favorite anymore. Sorry, Darren. But unbelievable looking miniature, like probably one of the better sculpts, I would say, for sure. I love his pose, his armor, his intricate armor. I'm speechless. You know what I mean?
Definitely top 3 for me as well.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm almost even tempted to like get one for myself and do one up for myself, and maybe get one of the local guys to commission one, just to have that beautiful looking done up piece, in the showcase kind of thing, right? So it's great that they've dropped them. It was a nice surprise for sure. I know guys were guessing that it was going to be Khan, and like Bill said, the box set. I mean, I was kind of a little, I was kind of in that stage too, where like, oh, there's no new box set, but the Khan sure made up for it. So
yeah,
beautiful miniature. And the one thing I did notice is on their preview when they're talking about, they dropped the Khan and then they start talking about 30K or showing the screens for 30K. There's one screen that was, I think it said that there was more coming or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I was hinting at there's more. What could that be? I don't know. But, box sets, who knows? Maybe they have works to do the Emperor now.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Right? So
that'd be actually really sweet.
Oh, it would complete that whole collection, to be honest. Like, you got the Primarchs, but
you need an Emperor and Malkador model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe that's their plans for another character series coming down the road.
Could be for sure.
But yeah, regardless, pretty cool. I like how they're continuing to come out with characters and more minis for Heresy. So it's all good in my books.
It's always nice for sure. Heresy model is a good day for Heresy. So,
but yeah, on to what we were saying about November plans.
Yes.
We got side railed on that one. But yeah, just continuing to get that army. My whole plan is to get the scars done, hopefully by the end of December, maybe mid-January.
Oof.
Hoping, right? I got a lot of bikes to work on and whatnot, and then any other add-ons that I'm going to add on to them, but it's going to be a big push, so I might have to break some stuff up with some battle tech and whatnot, or one-offs for bolt action, just to give yourself that break, because you kind of need that sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta cleanse the palate, right?
Exactly. So,
and we've been going pretty hard this year on projects and pledges and everything. It's
for sure. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, nice. Very nice. And like I mentioned, Word Bearer's Battletech for me. That'll be the big push as well, just to get the rest of my Word Bearer force finished off. So,
which will be awesome.
Yeah, gotta burn Kelth. It's on the to-do list. So
that's funny.
But I guess jumping in, meat potatoes. Mm-hmm. So this particular episode is going to be all about command squads.
Yep.
And the reason we kind of talked about just doing the command squads by themselves is they're pretty much characters in their own right. The way that they can be not only narratively and thematically like influential on your army. But it comes down to like a really nice modeling freedom where you can make all these different characters inside your command squad individual and have them as like heroes in their own right. So we felt it was worth giving them their time in the spotlight.
It's almost like you're making that your own Mournival, right?
Yeah.
So and as an example, one of our community guys here, Chris Sharon, when I played against him with my Ultramarines one time, he had actually had a custom done up command squad, and like you looked at each model that he made, and they were all different in their own right, and it looked so badass on the field, you know. So like you said, it's a huge opportunity for modeling, you know, your minis and conversions and just creating that, you know, unit, that command structure, right? Banners and stuff like that too, you know, helmets and different weaponry. So as a modeling aspect, it's probably one of the best squads for it.
Definitely.
You know? So
definitely. This is a squad like that the term sky's the limit definitely applies to.
Yeah. And it's pretty nice because you do see a lot of guys who have access to 3D printers.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of make parts and whatnot, and they come up with some really great stuff. You know, some very nice custom looking armor, and it fits right in. So props to you guys. You know, that's awesome. But I guess getting into like the actual unit itself.
Yeah.
What's your take on it there, Bill? What do you think?
Well, I guess start from the top, right? So the whole thing behind the command squads is basically you're unlocking them with your Praetor. Lets you to do your retinue command squad, and allows you to pretty much take a squad for the same Force Org slot.
Correct.
They can be your bodyguard for your big old character. The squad itself, for starting out base, like 3-man squad, 75 points, it's pretty good. Like weapon skill 5. The standard bearer's got 2 wounds, which is pretty nice. Having the odd number of Marines, like being able to have 3 and then purchase up to an additional 2, I really like. It gives you a lot of freedom, but we'll kind of get into the freedom part of it later. The nice thing about
flexible.
Yeah, well, they're super flexible. And the nice thing about these command squads is that you can customize them to fit the role that you want them to play.
Yeah.
And because they're so flexible with unit size, you can also give them the transport that will most benefit them and also benefit your points allocation. You don't necessarily have to break the bank on a command squad with a character.
That's true. These guys, they remind me of like the old Chaos Chapter.
Yeah.
You know. So, but the one thing too, like you mentioned about like with transports and stuff, the nice thing about this command squad is it can fit in to some of the different armies out there. As an example, Blood Angels, as an example, you know, if you like to play with a lot of jump packs and stuff, you have that option for gear, right? You can have them in with jump packs, you know, or if you feel like running Terminators, you know, your commander, your Praetors and Terminator armor, these guys have access to that too. Or even jet bikes, regular bikes. So, you know, like as an example, which I'll talk about later, I could put them and use them quite well with my scars if I want to, right? So big flexibility on that, like huge.
Yeah.
They start off with Artificer armor anyways.
Yeah.
So
Which
if
is
you just
nice.
want to run them on foot, it's pretty good, and they have quite the selection of war gear. And again, their stats are pretty good. It's nice that it's weapon skill 5. 2 attacks base on each of them, right? And their gear pretty standard. Like their regular loadout is pretty standard for a Marine. Bolter, bolt pistol, that kind of thing, frag and crack grenades. But the standard bearer with the Legion standard, that's where it makes things really good, because now they're fearless, right? So them, and then whatever around them, 6 inches, I believe, they become fearless. Now you think, okay, well, it doesn't really happen too much in 30K and whatnot, but there's always that chance. There's always something out there that catches you off guard, and it happens. So it's a big bonus to have that standard. It's also that big bonus, an opportunity to make a fancy standard in your unit. So
Definitely.
and then it's been a long time since I've seen a Terminator command squad.
Yeah, and that's where the command squad is a special place for me personally. I really like Terminator command squads. Although they're dedicated transport slots, a Rhino or a Land Raider, Proteus, I should specify. I like to usually take just the Dreadclaw to pop them inside and let them do their thing. It's a cheap and cheerful way to throw them in on the board, get them into the enemy's deployment zone as that spearhead kind of squad, with proper support too, but yeah, being able to take, your Praetor and maybe include an extra command squad member, so you have a 4-man squad, you all jump into a Dreadclaw, and it's just, it can be pretty sweet.
Well, they definitely are good for a drop army for that aspect of it, right? On their rules as well, like they are chosen warriors, so come down to a challenge, they can save your Praetor if need be, right? And then of course, if you're in Terminator armor, what Terminator armor would you take, though? Would you say for yourself?
Personally, I'd probably be rocking out Tartaros.
Tartaros?
Yeah, it seems to be one I lean towards quite a bit. It just seems, it's kind of the best of both worlds, right? Like, you get only a 5+ save, but being able to run and overwatch and sweep can't be underestimated. Like, it's very, very, very tactical, and it gives you a lot of choice when you're playing in your games.
Right.
So,
and I guess like if you were taking this command squad, depending on like maybe your army or something. I mean, if it was a World Eater command squad, I mean, that army itself is probably always moving. Like it's always pushing forward. It's always trying to get into combat, kind of thing. If you were in Cataphractii armor, you're slowed down a fair bit, right? So I don't know, and having your character who probably is mainly going to be close combat, I'm assuming, because they usually are.
Yeah.
Well, he's not in combat. What is he doing? He's just eating up points, walking to his target. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So I know we talked about like actually building kind of a force, building a command squad, and kind of whatnot, and I did go with Tartaros armor as well. And like 2 power fists, 2 chain fists, a power weapon kind of thing. Kind of like your standard Terminator loadout almost. Right? I like having chain fists in there. I know yourself, before you talked about just having fists and like one sword.
Yeah,
Um,
like if you've got points, that's kind of where I. Well, let's face it, right? I'm very frugal when it comes to dropping extra points. If I've got extra 5 points for that chain fist, sure, I'll buy one. But if
yeah.
I don't, they ain't getting shit. They, they will take just power fists, and I'll always have that one power sword guy just there to die because you do roll once, it does happen, and I'd rather lose a power sword than lose a power fist.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, with these guys, their role, not only are they like the commander's bodyguard, but if they're in Terminator armor, like I still kind of regard them as doing that same kind of job,
Yeah.
right? So hence the power of chain fists, right? It's nice having the weapon skill 5 for that, and power sword. Well, he's striking out initiative, so hopefully he'll be able to chew some guys up as well.
Yeah.
The nice thing though is for me, I would either equip them with Volkite chargers or the actual like a Kami Melta, right?
No.
It's a bit more points, obviously. Like there's 7 points a piece, I think. But having just a little bit of punch for, let's say, you did drop down against, close to a dreadnought, you get that chance of firing at them with your Meltas. Maybe you pop them. Maybe it saves the day from like not having to engage that dreadnought or whatever. Maybe there's a vehicle that could like really chew you apart with plasma cannons or something. You know what I mean? So as for the Chargers, they look cool. And I mean, strength 5, assault 2, the flag rate.
Yeah.
It's 15 inches, but let's let's not bullshit ourselves. It's you're probably dropping these guys in.
Yeah.
Right? Or if you are in a transport, hopefully you're zooming up real fast, like in a Raider, right? Especially if they are in a dedicated transport with the one that they get, their Proteus, I believe you were saying before, right?
Yeah, the Proteus.
Yeah. So if you're popping out of the Proteus, at least you have something you're shooting with.
Yeah.
So, and they have options. They have some other guns that they can get. You could just keep with the regular bolters, or you have I believe it's the Reaper autocannon and plasma blasters and flamers.
Yeah, the standard 3.
Honestly, kind of expensive.
They are, but if you've got points, I highly recommend Reaper autocannon all day, every day.
Yeah. So you're only getting one,
Yes.
right? So 50. Yeah, I guess. I can see what you're saying. I don't think I've ever used a Reaper autocannon.
For consistent strength 7, 2 shots, AP4, twin linked, like just constant firing, it's nice.
Yeah.
It is nice to have. I've been able to bring down Storm Eagles.
Oh, there you go.
Glance them out. Just keep glancing, and it does work. So it does.
But
work.
yeah, they have the other gear, just like Terminators. Lightning claws, thunder hammers, stuff like that. Grenade harnesses.
Yeah.
So really, it's another Terminator squad with some good flexibility, and obviously the banner, right, and being chosen warriors. So that's pretty cool. Now, going back to like these guys, and I'm talking with Terminator here again. I was talking to you about this before, Bill, about the Imperial Fists.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is a command squad, and they are Terminators. So, technically, you can give them the shield, I believe. Replace the bolter with the shield, right?
The vigil pattern, yeah.
Yeah. And having weapon skill 5 and then these a tough nut to crack like that's pretty good.
See,
in my opinion.
the one thing that really grinded my gears when Forge World dropped the Huskarl rules is like this command squad makes a better Huskarl squad than the Huskarl squad makes. And the reason, don't throw your trash at me, just listen. The reason I say that is because you can actually arm them properly, which they're in Indominus pattern plate. They're supposed to be. They're depicted in the lore that way with shields, and I just think it would be a far more iconic squad to use, rocking them out right with regular Terminator armor, storm shields, rocking out. Now we know why Huskarls are in Cataphracti. It's because that's what the models have for upgrades. They have Cataphracti, storm shields, and that's what it is. So cool, but yeah, they should have been in regular armor because this Legion Command Squad is just a better Huskarl squad, in my opinion. And that's coming from an Iron Warriors player, okay? So come at me, fight me, but I honestly I feel it's true.
It's okay, everybody. Down in Bill's heart, he almost went with the Imperial.
I did, but then I saw
it's just a reverse of colors, Bill.
Then I saw the light, and I went the proper route. Went the proper route. Biggest thing, I guess, getting the most out of this squad for me, and I've kind of touched on that a little bit before, is and also remember you can only take Terminator armor if your Praetor's in Terminator armor. But honestly, dropping them in a Dreadclaw, running with your Praetor, it is a very good distraction unit, and being able to plan other drop units around this kind of a squad can really help you turn a scattered landing into a huge like beachhead in the enemy's rear deployment. Depending on how you're trying to build your army, I always like to build odd drop units, and minimum of 3 always, and 3 to 5. 5 is the real sweet spot, just because at least 9 times out of 10, if you're taking mostly pods or something that auto drops down like termites or whatever, at least you can start all kind of bubbling up around that squad, so you have a massive blob of units that are all fearless because of that 6-inch bubble.
Nice.
So I really think if you build the force around that itself, it can really give you a 1-up, especially for those pesky morale rolls and whatnot. As Iron Warriors, you're even more off in the bonus because you're not taking any of those rolls, and you can literally just march these squads right down your opponent's throat and start taking out backline. If they've got Thud guns, if they've got that Sicaran Arcus, if they got that that Dirty Dog Scorpius or Venator, anything that's going to cause you a threat, drop this squad beside it, and they will either drive away, turn, try and pop the Dreadclaw. They'll spend time shooting at it, and when it does drop, that's fine. Just keep your Praetor and that banner at the back, and everyone else can die. It doesn't matter. Because that's taking valuable shooting away from the rest of your squad. And then you just throw in the hammer, fast moving units, right? It's just it's super good. I've used them in the past with my Iron Warriors with drop style units. I've even brought them out with the Wolves a couple times, and you can really get some really good insurance, which isn't a very common thing in Heresy. So being able to rock out fearless and know oh, you know what, I can run into this fight and I might not win, but I'm not gonna break, and that's half the battle. As if you can hold them out in their turn, or even if they kill you in their turn, now they're free in your turn for you to capitalize on shooting. That has happened many times as well. So this is where you really start to try and plan ahead and utilize these squads as, you know, little speed bumps in your army to help out.
No, for sure. For sure. I've even, like, I know I've looked at, just recently looked at fitting them into the Scars army. They get pretty pricey.
You can, yeah.
I think I was probably in the 320 range.
My goodness.
So, you know, maybe like comparing them to like the Golden Kashig.
Yeah.
They're very similar. They're not fearless. The Kashig, that is. But they do have they have access to some heavy weapons, like, you know, for close combat, right? So, similar kind of idea, but different. Even though, like, for me, wanting to have that fast army still on bikes, I can do that, and of course they'll be equipped with different kind of weapons, again, fists and stuff like that. It'd be a really neat opportunity to model some interesting characters riding bikes, you know. But very, very expensive, and I don't know if it's really worth for my Scars army as of yet.
Yeah.
I'd have to sit down and like put them in an actual game and try them out and see how well they
cool,
fare.
man. Rule of cool.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I would love to do a command squad on foot.
Yeah.
But my Praetor's riding a bike, so
save the command squad on foot for your Ultramarines.
yeah. But see, that's the beauty of it, right? Like, you could literally make just those specialized miniatures for just the sake of that command squad.
Yeah. It's true.
And I think it's also, you can also use them for, I believe it's for units that actually have the Warlord keyword. You can take them as well, I believe, for them, right?
Oh, it's the
command squad. Yeah. Right. It's not like it's generically it's a Praetor.
Yeah.
But then you might have other units that have that Warlord, you know, wording.
Yeah, where they can take a retinue. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think it even says it on the retinue and stuff. But either way, I mean, pretty cool. Again, lots of different options on them.
Yeah, there are. I think visually one of the nicest command squads I've seen was Josh and his Deathwing Companions. Painted up for his all-bike Dark Angel list. It was, man.
You gotta fight that army.
Sick. It was sick. Like, they look awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. They look really good. I'll try and get a picture for it. I might have one on the page there. So, but yeah, very, very cool looking squad. And that's the nice thing is, I think, this squad is one that checks off all the boxes. This checks off like building opportunity, painting opportunity, different play styles, fulfilling different roles. One of the big things is, how would you make this squad better? What do you think would be a better way to arm them, or to give them? Like, I have a couple ideas myself. If you want to stew on that while I
go ahead.
Here. One of my biggest things is, I would really like to see the Land Raider options opened up. The Proteus is
fair enough.
Okay, cool, but I want a Phobos. Like, if I'm taking command squad, I want to be able to actually like move up, jump out, assault with this squad. The Proteus is cool, but it's not, it's not really going to lend itself well to the squad. Like, no, okay, that said, that's just dedicated transport, right? So look at that as a limitation only if you are short on slots, heavy support slots, or if they are part of an army that has a right that specifically says you must use your dedicated transport, or you have to be deployed in your tank or something, right? It's just, I'd really like them to have more options just as dedicated. You would think as a command squad they'd probably have access to almost all the different transports. That would definitely, I think, kind of make it a little bit more fun.
Fair enough.
So that's one of the big ones for me. It would just help down the road, I guess. The only other thing I would do to make them better is I'd probably bump all of them to 2 wounds instead of just the standard bearer.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that would make them 2 wound Terminators pretty much.
yeah, like I think
Right.
I think it would just be, you'd get more bang for your buck. Like, they're still T4, so strength 8's gonna instant death them, and that's fine. But having 2 wounds, being able to shrug off bolter fire, you really kind of get to see these characters in your mind's eye of them just trudging through the field and just taking a total shit ton of firepower, taking wounds, just shrugging off shrugging off all the damage incoming, and then pulling blades and rolling into the enemy. And it's just, yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun to see them that way.
One thing that just popped in my head with them, which I think would make a command squad really versatile for each legion, is now there's kind of 2 ways of this. If they had a list of legion standards that you were able to pick from.
Oh, like bonuses?
So like this one is 6 inches fear, right?
Yeah.
And I would keep it at 6 inches. Like, that's a fine number. Keep it at that. That's cool. But let's say I want to use this with my world eaters,
Yeah.
for example, and I'm running them on foot. They're not in Terminator. They're in Arty Armor. They're running up with the regular infantry, the warriors. They're just running in, berserking. Within 6 inches, they're allowed to, either like add a distance to their charge or re-roll some kind of fail charge or something like that, right? I think world leaders might get that anyways, but a bonus like that, or if you have an army, maybe like your Iron Warriors, maybe you get some kind of bonus to shooting, and make it kind of like a bubble, right? So anything around the banner within 6 inches of it, maybe you get a bonus to your ballistic skill instead. You know what I mean? +1 or something like that. Just little things like that would make this unit a bit more, people would want to play it more.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? Otherwise, you would, like I was saying before, you would make a list of all the legions, and then each legion would get a specific rule. Yeah, for their standard, right? So there's that. Possibly, instead of having these guys as chosen warriors, and actually having them as characters, so that you can take specific weapons from your legion.
Oh, right? I see. Yeah.
Like, there's weapons in there that they say, well, your character type can replace their power sword with this weapon, right? That kind of idea. There's something like that. It would be pretty cool. Other than that, I mean, they do have a lot of options already. I don't really think they, are going to be like an ultimate range kind of fighting unit. But I think some of the other weapons, like the heavy chainsword, the charnable saber, it's not so much the unit, but maybe those weapon options. Like they would have to go back and kind of revisit the actual weapons to see if they're going to be more appealing to use, right?
For sure.
So, other than that, maybe depending on what army you're taking, there's always different options for like their grenades and stuff. Like you get melt bombs for these guys if you wanted to, but there's always different things that they can put into there.
Yeah, well, the melt bomb, it's a flat 25 points too, regardless if you have 3 models or 5 models. So you're getting ripped off in that particular aspect. But again, that's coming from the frugal guy who I don't buy dozer blades, right? Like this is the kind of guy you're dealing with. I'm tired of spending points on him and minimize the risk.
He likes having his boots.
Yeah, minimize the risk. If you really have to drive in the terrain, okay, cool, do it. But if you don't have to, just drive around it because, save those points for juicier things.
Maybe having an option to make their weapons mastercrafted.
Yeah, you can
they're like their close combat weapon. That is right.
Yeah.
Just I'm not saying all of these options, but
no,
little
bits. There's little things you could add.
Oh, for sure.
You could even give them instead of that, you could give the squad hatred for a turn, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Like something small.
That's the thing. You can make the banner like that if you wanted to. So, which it's the wish list, right?
It is really.
What if?
And that's the big thing is, guys listening out there, how do you guys run your command squads? Do you run them similar? Are you against Terminator armor? Do you rather just, arty armor and have power armor Marines running around?
Combat shields?
Yeah, combat shield maybe instead. Just let us know in the comments. Flick us a message, whatever, because we like hearing how a lot of the other, players like to run. It's kind of neat. Like, I love my Terminators. I'm very shock troop heavy. I was for a really long time with my Iron Warriors. That's just the play style that they really excel. And let's be real, Iron Warriors aren't really gonna pussyfoot around. Like, if you got a mission, you're going at it full bore. So, I think Terminators are so brutal, but they fit the Legion aesthetic and the feel so well. It's just take them at every opportunity. So,
yeah, definitely different ways of playing with these guys and building them and equipping them. So,
for sure,
be nice to see more of them on the field. It'd be maybe a project in the future to actually create one, even if I wasn't going to really use them too often. But the Ultramarines, I think, would do quite well with all their intricate armor, and the scars would be nice to do as well, because make each of those chosen Marines just look like they have a specific purpose, right? Like this guy's the guy with the 2-handed heavy weapon, you know what I mean? He's got the big Dow or whatever. He's got the blade and shield, right? That kind of thing. The banner bearer. You can really, really customize these guys and actually turn them into like mini characters.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
It'd be pretty neat.
If you want the most badass standard bearer model ever, model them with a power fist holding the banner, old school, 3rd edition style, regardless if he's in Arty armor or Terminator armor, make him look badass. Because I don't know. Every time I think about that, that's the model that pops into my head.
Plants the banner in the ground with the power fist.
Yeah. I'll make sure I put a picture up so you guys can see it.
Just
Relive the glory days.
Yeah, yeah. But no, and that's the nice thing is there are a lot of models out there, even from some of the older ranges that you can tinker with, and then of course the 3D printing as well. I'm sure.
Yeah.
A lot of guys out there doing that stuff already, and ultimately it'll be a fun unit to work on for sure.
Yeah.
Even like I said, even the bikers would be fun to really customize. Having all these shields and like maybe blades and stuff, and maybe even like trophies on the side of their bikes. Having like kind of like the Deathwing, Ravenwing kind of feathered thing on the back of their bikes. I don't know what that's called, but they're like hussars almost.
Yeah.
Right. Just doing that kind of stuff. You can have the guy with the banner. Maybe different types of banners. I think Dan actually ended up giving me a looks kind of like a Japanese style, ancient giant Japanese banner. So that'd be pretty interesting, maybe to slap that on there and use that, change it up. So, but yeah,
It'll be good.
It's pretty good little topic on them.
Little spiel just on the command squads. So and
send us pictures.
Yes,
if you got some cool ones, send us pictures.
Yeah, well, it's always good, like checking out even the Instagram, the hashtag Trident Wargaming, more and more pictures popping up all the time, which is nice. Good engagement, like we said, this is episode 41. We've kind of been going steady. We've tried to been cranking out every week for you guys this last year. And with the new year, we'll bring a new season, a whole new kind of approach. Really kind of focus on what's been working and trying to keep bringing you guys more content. So if you're liking this kind of stuff, please let us know. We've been getting really good positive feedback from it, and feedback, good or bad, like we want to hear it all, because if there's something you didn't like or we missed something, let us know.
100%.
It's a learning experience all around. So
100%.
That's the hobby.
We're doing this to share what we feel and what we think about the game and the hobbies, and the modeling aspect of things, and like army building and playing in general, and even just the mentality of play groups and whatnot too, right? And there's a whole bunch of topics that we have discussed about, like what we ultimately want was to literally share our experience with you guys, and if there's, like Bill said, if there's stuff that you guys want to explore or maybe recommend, or even see if we can check it out, by all means, hit us up. And I know we're always continuously trying to work on something, be it the miniatures, or you'll see our posts on Instagram, and you got I know Bill's done a couple of little painting projects showing you how he does certain things, and I like to do a lot of the unboxings to show you guys these kits, which helps, I think, in the long run. Like, if you're new to a system and by chance we're doing an unboxing of it, you can actually see the kit before you decide to get it.
It's true.
Which, as a hobbyist, could save you some money.
Very true.
But even going back to just, hey Bill, how did you do this weathering on your on your armored car kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? Stuff like that helps, and you guys share with us as well little tips and tricks too, which is nice, because then it's like, I'm gonna try that. And then next thing you know, it's like, this is my go-to.
Yeah, it is for sure.
And we always love to learn some new stuff, some new tactics, some new, try new things on new projects. And this year was really, that's what it was, or still is. We were trying a lot of different projects too, right?
Well, just trying to push the envelope, really focusing on that trinity of hobby, right? Building and painting and playing. As you've probably heard before, we talk about with our motto, build it, paint it, play it. That's the whole thing, right? Like, all three of these aspects of the hobby go hand in hand. We enjoy some more than others, but as you progress through your own hobby journey, you'll notice how the priority shifts, sometimes from playing to more of the painting, modeling aspect, or back to more playing. It's very interesting how it all goes down. So we like to keep hearing from you guys, and stay tuned to the social media pages, because we will still do giveaways, and we'll still be doing our local kind of pledges and stuff like that. It's all about just bringing hype to the systems. We're hype monsters here. So when something hits us quick, we jump in, both feet, go hard, and
for sure.
Yeah, you can get a lot of stuff done. Like, I've never played a full game of Necromunda, and yet I have a fully painted gang. And that's just that was the hype that sucked me in. So I'm on my 4th game of bolt action. I just finished my 4th game, and I've got a painted army almost. So it's crazy how fast you guys can kind of go. But we hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Next round we'll have a few more units that we've got questions on. I have a huge list of questions. We just kind of keep going through and knocking them one at a time. And some of these units are super, super detailed, where it takes a little bit of time to go through them. So we will get there. We'll keep cranking out, and we'll start going into a little bit more hands-on Tactica as we move into the new year. We'll get some special stuff planned to show you guys. So
very true.
Yeah, maybe some tactics videos, real-time shit. Just saying. So, but thanks for tuning in, everybody, and just keep on painting.
Catch you guys later.